Guys, well, we're hearing a lot of people who are starting to develop tinnitus after getting these COVID-19 medical experiment injections, all right? And what I'm going to say to people is you've basically been had over, all right? It wasn't a vaccine. We know that. In fact, it's come out of Denmark now. If the new variant, bullshit variant, by the way, the new variant, it only goes for those who've been vaccinated. Well, it's because they've just reduced your immune system, all right? But I'm going to explain to you what's really going on and the reason why those that have been vaccinated absolutely have to start getting active. Remember these videos? They were all over the place at first and have now been removed massively. It's very, very hard to see any of them. But let's just listen to what this lady says.
Eyes are shot in. And there it is. Come closer. Stick into my arm. That's where I got the shot. And here's the magnet on the arm. I didn't get the shot. You go figure it out. We're chipped. We're all fucked.
Well, you're not exactly what you just said yet. However, they're planning that you absolutely will be. Okay? So I'm going to explain to you what and how this technology is going to be used against you, because it's all interconnected with the network that they're fitting up outside the ministry at Benton. Right, this is your 5G urban radar network, all right? It operates in the sub-gigahertz range mainly, all right? And that's its blanket coverage. So it's basically urban radar. It's tracking, backhauling data from a multitude of technologies, any sort of device, etc. in that area, all right? So let's just see how it actually works, because that's really important for people to understand. You see, now there's your target, all right? Now, currently there could be some other type of antenna, but as you've seen, we've just seen a lady with the antenna actually inside her arm. All right, let's just see how this thing works. You see that? All right, now there phased array. That's an offset signal. And the reason why they're very concerned about aircraft, you get what's called side lobe leakage. All right, so you'll get a side lobe which isn't anywhere near as powerful as this main beam. That's the main beam. But obviously, they get leakage coming off vertically, etc. So consequently, anything flying over this city, you've got a bit of a problem. But you can see how quickly, right? Now, these can fire multiple thousands of shots in very, very short periods. Let's just show you a little bit more how it works. This is the technology itself. It's called phased array. These are weapons off the battlefield. Bump. You just hit the target. Okay, so it's scanning all the time, and then it's picking up the target. You see that side lobe leakage there at the base? You see, that's the thing they're terrified about the planes. But you see how less powerful it is than the main beam, because obviously the main beam's firing the targets on the ground, and you can tell by that by looking at the antennas. Okay, extremely dangerous. Direct energy weapon systems. They look like small flat pans. You'll see them on, a lot of these monopoles. They're hanging on monopoles, etc. They're putting them up all over the place. And like I said, just last week, we saw this equipment being installed around the Benton area, where we now see there are the council putting up documents to say there's been an outbreak of flu. For those that haven't watched any of my videos before, I actually looked into the science. Here's a military guy who will tell you what radiation, the symptoms of radiation are. All right, let's just turn the sound up.
Which has been leading the Pentagon's quest for a more effective antidote to radiation sickness.
The symptoms of acute radiation sickness would be just exactly like a terrible flu. Person would have a headache. They would feel very tired. They would have a little bit of a fever. They might have some vomiting at higher doses. All of this would be more severe and it would come on more.
So you've heard that. All right, so you've heard the military telling you electromagnetic radiation causes flu-type symptoms. Well, let's just go and have a little look at what happened in Wuhan. Here we have the test. Obviously, they were linked up the antenna in the vaccine. That's how you know if you've got that, if that neodymium magnet sticks to you. You've got antennae and that hooks up. And this is how the government are getting live data. We saw a portable transmitter actually at a vaccination site in Sunderland to show that they are hooking you up. As soon as you get vaccinated, they're hooking you up to the network, all right, so they can track and trace you. This is where they're getting their live data from, yeah? So they know exactly if you've been vaccinated, if you haven't been vaccinated. Obviously, they're not going to tell you that currently, but they will know that. So falsifying the documents is not really much use. Fortunately, we'll have an opportunity here because like the people in Public Health Scotland who show there's a massive increase in people who are either being hospitalised or dying from the vaccine. It is the vaccinated. The vaccinated are under attack. So those that have been vaccinated, like I said, best thing to do, make a criminal complaint, right? This is misconduct, medical battery. There's a number of assaults. You were not told this was an experiment. I know you weren't told that lots of people were expected to get severely ill. The MHRA had already organised an EI system to track the significant increase in sickness and death. So they already knew what they were doing. Because it's an experiment, they experimented on you, and that's a break in the law, all right? It's illegal. Even though they did it on emergency, this was an attempted mass murder event, all right? When they switch that 5G on, believers, it'll target acquire you and kill you, all right? It's going to have a great deal of difficulty finding anybody who hasn't been vaccinated. And this goes for police officers, nurses, doctors, barristers, judges, the political class. You're all under attack. When that 5G network switches on, that EI system will take you out. It will kill you with that antenna. So I'm going to suggest to you, redemption, those that are behind it and those that went along with it, it's time to stand up before you leave this place, right, with this weapon, because it's here to kill you. So it's absolutely crucial you make that criminal complaint now. And the police do your job, uphold the law and arrest the criminals behind this.